Hello, everybody. This is Trinity, the executive director of the Sauk, with another one of our Meet the Playwrights for the 2020 Sauk Shorts, which are being performed this weekend, Thursday night, Saturday night at 8 o'clock, and Saturday and Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock at the Slayton Arboretum in Hillsdale on the campus of Hillsdale College. Please remember there's no Friday night show for this one, but there are 2 matinees. All of the information about the show, including all our safety procedures, how to get tickets, all those things are at our website, thesauk.org. And all of this week, you'll be able to meet the cast and the rest of the playwrights on our Facebook page. Today's playwright is brand new to the Sauk, but her play is beautiful, and I can't wait for you to see it. She's joining us from Asheville, North Carolina, where hopefully it's not as hot as it is here. Here's Bonnie Milne Gardner. Hi, Bonnie.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm well, thanks.
It's
pretty hot, but
yeah,
well.
It's 103 right here right now.
Well, we hit 90 today, which is kind of high in the mountains because I'm up in the mountains.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, down in the flatlands, it's as hot as you are, but up here in the mountains, we're not used to it.
Well, but you know, you're new to the Sauk, so give us the Bonnie life story.
Well, I was born and raised in Northern Ohio.
Okay.
And in a Cleveland suburb, and worked a lot in some theaters in Cleveland while I was in college and shortly after college. When I finished my degrees, I got a teaching position at a small liberal arts college in Ohio Wesleyan University.
Okay.
And I taught there for a long time and took early retirement and ran away from home to the mountains here in Asheville.
Love that. Love that. When did you start writing?
Pretty much all my life. Writing plays predominantly started in late college, grad school. Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about At the Wall, which is the show that we're doing this year in the shorts. And I always find the short plays hard to describe without giving too much away. But I think we can say it's an encounter between 2 men, one who is an active military person at the Vietnam Wall.
Yeah.
On Veterans Day, right?
Right, and that's key. Yeah.
Yeah. Where did the idea for the play come from? Talk about the writing of it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, at the time, I was working on a collection of short plays that are part of a full evening, and it's called Bank Holidays.
Okay.
The full collection. And each of the short plays takes place on a national holiday. And it covers a whole year's worth of national holidays. Are you still there?
I am.
Did you lose me? I just went blank. Oh, there, we're back.
Okay.
I might have some kind of a cutoff.
You say you're good here.
Okay, great.
You're good.
Anyway, I had already written most of the other plays. I think this was one of the last plays and one of the last holidays, because for some reason I was finding it hard to match a play with the holiday. And Veterans Day, I finally hit upon this. I'd always been impressed by that iconic image of the wall, the Vietnam Wall, with all of the tributes that people place at the base of it underneath special names and such. And I also recently had a student in my classroom who was in the Army Reserves and had been called up to serve. And I was getting some emails from him from overseas. And I was probably a combination of all those things and who knows what else that made me come up with this idea for an encounter. And my student Matthew actually helped me with a little bit of the technical stuff when they're talking about being a mechanic in the military, and I said, how would this soldier refer to that? And he gave me a lot of good tips.
Sure. Now we're performing the show in an outdoor venue, which is very interesting because, the beginning of the play, one of the characters is sitting on the bench and then the other one enters And the other night when I watched the run through, he's sitting on the bench and you can hear the birds chirping and you can hear all those sort of nature sounds that sometimes in the theater are artificial.
Right.
And it's so
that's cool.
The play works in a very interesting way being outside. I will say that.
Yeah.
And we're also closing the evening with this play because we think it's a beautiful way to sort of sum up the evening.
Oh, nice.
So and the two gentlemen who are doing it are fantastic. So let's talk about quarantine and how you're surviving in the mountains. And have you been keeping busy? Are you writing? What are you doing?
Well, like everybody else, I have my sort of daily routine that keeps me sane. I try to take walks, work in the garden. I'm a big pickleball player. And so 3 mornings a week, I still play pickleball.
Okay. Michigander, what's pickleball?
It's like this new sport that has just become a huge craze. Google it and it'll show you it's played on an outdoor court a lot like tennis.
Okay.
But the court's a little shorter and you use a hard paddle instead of a tennis racket.
Okay.
And a harder ball than a tennis ball.
Okay.
It's just a blast. It's so much fun.
Okay. You'll have to write a play about it and send it to me.
Maybe. I am writing. I wrote a play based on someone trying to get into an emergency room under the COVID regulations. That one's a comedy, sort of a dark comedy about how people have to fit all these categories before they will allow them to walk in there.
Mm-hmm.
And that one is called Splitting Butternuts.
Okay.
Because the person hurt themselves trying to open a butternut squash. And I'm working on another longer play. I'm continuing to work on another longer play that I've been working on for a while about it's kind of a futuristic piece where if you belong to a condo association, it rules your whole life. It's a little scary, but it's a comedy. So
okay, all right.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, you are part of the New Play Exchange, yes?
Yes, right. Yeah. MPX. Mm-hmm.
And for the people watching, a lot of the way we solicit scripts, we used to, read books of 10-minute plays for hours and hours and hours. And then we had some local people who were writers and, they keep saying, how do we submit our plays? And one year this was, I think 2 years ago, we put up one ad online. If you're interested in sending us your 10-minute play, we'd love to read it. Put it in one place. Well, someone on the New Play Exchange got a hold of it and put it on all of the different message boards. And that year we had over 500 submissions. So the reason I bring this all up is 6 of the plays from in this year's festival are featured writers on New Play Exchange. Yourself, Matthew Weaver, Ruben Carbajal, can't think of who else is on there. I think Nick Zagoni's on there. So it's just exciting to have that for all of you as writers, but for us as a theater that's looking for new material and looking for plays that maybe aren't getting produced a lot.
Yeah.
But tell us, you said At the Wall was first produced in 2014?
14. Mm-hmm.
And has it had a number of productions since then?
No, these are the only 2 productions of it. That was at the Weathervane Playhouse near Akron, Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
We do an 8x10 festival every fall.
Yeah.
It was part of that festival.
Well, we're thrilled to do it, and more people need to do it because it's a beautiful play. And I want to read the whole evening. I want to read Bank Holidays. Send
sure.
that to me. I'd love to look at it.
Absolutely. Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
when you do receive all of these, what is your process for selection? Every theater has a different way of doing it, so I'm just curious.
So normally what we do is we ask for, in fact, I'm sure we asked this because I remember reading yours, a summary. Send us like a 2-sentence or 3-sentence summary. And truthfully, the way we weed them down first is we just read the summaries and we go, okay, that one's interesting. Oh, we've read that one before. Or, there's 5 about the same thing. And then, normally we boil it down to about 50. And then there's a committee who gets together on a Saturday, spends the whole day, and they read them. And we do a yes, no, maybe pile. And if the yes pile has too many, we boil that down. And if there's not quite enough in the yes pile, we look at the maybe pile. But it weeds itself down. Yeah. And we do try to put a little emphasis on local and state writers.
Sure.
So usually if they're from the area, they immediately go to the read pile.
That's great. Yeah. I think that's great. I think theaters that support local writers are just essential in our country. That's wonderful. Yeah.
Agreed. Especially right now, I think.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm delighted that you came up with a really creative way to produce them outdoors in partnership with the Arboretum. That's just a wonderful idea.
Thank you.
I can't tell you how much the play submissions has completely dried up. Normally, my other writer friends, we'd be sending out 10 or 15 plays a month. Now it's maybe 1 a month.
Yeah.
It's just totally dried up.
Yeah. I'm hoping that once this all ends, the opposite's going to happen, where people are going to be so ready to start producing that there's going to be even more opportunities.
Well, that would be great.
Yeah. And I certainly think the short play format, a friend of mine who runs another theater said, right now we can't afford to do anything in the theater. And I said, have you thought about even a virtual evening of 10-minute plays or, we did some monologues the first month of quarantine that people recorded from their living rooms. And
I've had 2 virtual play readings already.
Yeah.
And a third one, which was supposed to be produced live in Raleigh, is and that's also a short play festival. They're going to do a virtual one in September instead.
Yeah. It's just nice to see some theaters still trying to do stuff and be creative. And
but weather is an issue outdoor.
I know it's supposed to rain all week.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So it's risky, but I think it's worth trying for sure.
Yeah. And we've worked really hard with people that know what they're talking about to how can we section the audience so that everyone's safe and the procedures of getting in and out, and the cast is wearing masks when they're moving around and when we're moving sets and things, and so
great.
Yeah.
Will there be any opportunity for us to see photos of?
Oh, yes.
For those of us who don't live near enough to come see it?
Absolutely. Yeah, we will for sure. And we can talk about that when we're done recording here.
Okay.
Because I can get you some info about that. All right, everyone watching this weekend, 4 chances only, 2 matinees for this show, so that should help. At the Arboretum in Hillsdale, Slayton Arboretum. It's a beautiful outdoor venue. You can be social distance and still enjoy a fun afternoon or evening of theater. Tickets on the website, thesauk.org. Bonnie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Good luck.
Of course. Well, thank you. And we'll see you all this weekend at the show.